In the remote Arctic wilderness of Canada, where the icy winds never sleep and the sun disappears for months at a time, there once stood a quiet Inuit village on the shores of Lake Anjikuni. But one cold November night in 1930, every single inhabitant, men, women, and children, vanished without a trace. No footprints. No struggle. No bodies. Just silence. This is one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in Canadian history, the story of the vanished Inuit village of Anjikuni. Our story begins in November 1930, when a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle made his usual journey toward the isolated settlement of Anjikuni Lake, in the Kavalik region of Nunavut. LaBelle had often visited the Inuit there, a friendly group who welcomed him with food, stories, and warmth during his long hunting trips. But this time, something was wrong. As he approached the village, he noticed an unnatural stillness. The sled dogs were missing. No smoke rose from the chimneys. And the only sound was the whistling wind. LaBelle called out, but no one answered. He stepped inside the first hut, and froze. Inside were half-eaten meals left on tables, pots of stew still hanging over long-dead fires, and rifles still leaning against the walls. It looked as if the entire village had left in the middle of dinner. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no broken furniture, nothing stolen. Everything was exactly as it had been, except for the people. LaBelle searched every home, every igloo, every corner of the settlement. He found kayaks pulled up on shore, weapons untouched, clothing and supplies left behind. Then came a horrifying discovery. Outside the village, he found a pack of sled dogs, all dead, buried under the snow. They appeared to have starved to death, their leashes still tied, as if their owners had simply never returned. LaBelle hurried to the nearest telegraph office, miles away, to alert the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. When officers arrived days later, they confirmed his worst fears: the entire population of Anjikuni had disappeared. But the mystery only deepened. One officer claimed to have seen a strange blue glow in the night sky above the lake, like a pulsating light, brighter than the northern aurora. Locals also spoke of a shimmering object, descending from the heavens around the time the villagers vanished. The RCMP launched a full investigation. They found no footprints leading away from the settlement, not even those of the villagers themselves. The snow was untouched. It was as if the people had simply. Years later, skeptics began to question the entire tale. The RCMP officially denied that such a disappearance ever took place. They claimed no records of any mass missing persons case at Anjikuni Lake existed in their archives. Some suggested that the story was embellished or invented by a journalist in 1931, possibly drawing from old Arctic folklore. Others believed the story was based on a smaller, unrelated disappearance that grew into legend over time. But even the debunkers admit one thing. There was an Inuit community near Lake Anjikuni. And it did vanish mysteriously in the early 20th century. Though how or why remains unknown. So, was it all a myth, or was it a cover-up? Could the government have suppressed the truth of what really happened, perhaps because it involved something they couldn't explain? Over the decades, dozens of theories have tried to explain the mystery. Some believe the villagers simply migrated during a harsh winter. But that wouldn't explain the uneaten food, the dead dogs, and missing graves. Then there's the strangest theory of all. That the villagers were taken by an unknown force. Witnesses across the Arctic reported mysterious lights in the sky. And some say that the blue glow above Anjikuni was no aurora. But something far more unearthly. Nearly a century later, the mystery of Anjikuni remains unsolved. No bodies. No answers. No closure. Just whispers carried by the wind across the frozen lake. And the haunting memory of a village that vanished into the Arctic night. Somewhere beneath the snow and ice. Perhaps the truth still waits to be found. Until then, Anjikuni will remain one of the coldest mysteries on Earth.